Dear all, a very good day. Okay, until now, in the previous two lectures, we have seen X rays, its different properties, and its unit. Along with it, we have also observed different methods, or you can say the method for the generation of X ray and how it is utilized in different applications related for the medical diagnosis. Okay, herein as well we will be seeing how X-rays are being utilized or visualized, and how it is being helping, or directly how it is being utilized in the field of medical sciences. Okay, basically three basic system or three basic setups are being utilized for the X-rays. Okay, we are quite familiar with these systems, so let's see how an X-ray will function. Okay, the use of X-ray as a diagnostic tool is based on the fact that various components of the body have different density for the rays. Okay, we all know that the human body is not same throughout. Okay, we have got bones, we have got muscles, and at places we have got just skin and fiber. There are many vital organs that are stored in our rib cage. Okay, now these all the different parts of human body has, or they possesses different densities. Like bones are very dense, made up of minerals like calcium. Then our muscles is a complex system of flesh. Same are our organs like human heart, human lungs, kidneys, having varying degree of matter in them and having very typical densities. Then at places there are only skins and very thin muscles like our ear and nose. So depending upon their properties, the X-ray penetrates them differently and reacts with them differently. Okay, through most of the parts they can easily part, like our skins. Okay, but it is very difficult for them to pass through our bones, and they are mostly absorbed by our bones, and so on. Okay, and using this phenomena, imaging is done with the help of X-rays. Okay, so when X-ray from a point source penetrates a section of body, internal structure of the body absorbs varying amount of radiation. Okay, so if we will focus on X-ray on a particular part of a body, so X-ray will be generated and it will be absorbed by different parts of a body depending upon their density. The radiation that leaves the body therefore has a spatial intensity variation, that is an image of internal structure of the body. So when the X-rays come out from the other side, okay, so they have varying intensity depending upon the through which parts they have passed. Suppose if they have passed through our bones, so they will be very poor in energy, whereas if they have passed only through our skin, so they will have very high energy, and depending upon this the imaging part is carried on. The radiation that leaves the body therefore has a spatial intensity variation, that is an image of the internal structure of the body. A shadow image is generated that corresponds to the X-ray density of the organs in the body, and therefore a shadow type is generated on the particular material used, okay, for imaging, and it corresponds to the density of different parts of our body, and these can thus be visualized in such a way. Okay, so this is a very simple system which has been shown here, which is here is a high voltage supply, then there is an X-ray tube which is used for production of X-rays. If a human body is placed and behind this there is a particular screen, so depending upon the organ density of this body, organs will be shown in different intensities on this screen. Okay, then X-rays cannot be detected directly by the human eyes. Okay, they have a frequency or wavelength such that they do not lie in the visible spectrum, and therefore they can not be viewed by the human eye, and therefore it is an indirect method for getting an image. Then comes fluoroscopy. X-rays are discovered when it was noticed that certain metal salts generated dark when salts glowed in dark when struck by radiation or X-ray. Okay, so there are many metal salts which show fluorescence effect when hit by X-rays. This means if X-rays hit them, they will produce a light of their own. Okay, and then they will glow in the dark. So this is a property as well which is being continuously used for X-rays. Okay, now the brightness of the fluorescence is a film of radiation intensity, and cardboard piece coated with such a metal were firstly used for X-ray images. So in the earlier days, okay, X-rays were focused to the body onto the cardboard film which were painted with different metals that showed fluorescence. Okay, now depending upon the intensity of the X-rays hitting the metal salts, the image was generated. Now the fluoroscopic image obtained in this way is rather faint, so this method has limited use. Now since after passing through the human body, X-rays might have a very low energy content at some places, so the image is not very proper and it is very faint. Therefore this method has a very limited usage. Then comes X-ray films. Obviously most of us has seen the X-ray films, and it is one of the most used applications of X-rays. So X-ray react with photogenic plate in the same manner as visible light. So they also affect the photogenic plate similar to the human, similar to the visible light, and patterns can be generated with the help of this method. After processing in a developing solution, if the film is exposed to X-rays, it shows an image of the X-ray intensity, thereby getting a clearer image. And in the cases of fractures and so on, this technique has been utilized many a times. The sensitivity of this effect can be increased by intensifying the screens. Okay, so by intensifying the screen or by opening up the exposure time more, or in a similar manners, this screen or this property can be easily controlled. Okay, image intensifiers. Now this is one of the modern technologies and utilization of X-rays. The faint image of the fluoroscopic screen can be made brighter with the help of electronic image intensifiers. This is a simple device which has been shown here, which shows that here is our video camera. Here is a movable mirror shown position for the visual observation. Observer can view from here with the help of the mirrors, as they can be changed and directed for a particular application. This is the output screen. Okay, and this is the image intensifier. This is a fluorescent screen backed by, here is a fluorescent screen backed by photocathode, and this is the position of X-ray source. So X-ray source, image intensifier, and fluorescent screen, which when passes through the lens and different mirrors can help observer view in a better way what is happening in the body. Okay, the intensifier tube consists of fluorescent screen, the surface of which is coated with a suitable material to act as photocathode. Okay, now the electron image thus obtained is projected onto the phosphorus screen at the other end of the tube by means of an electrostatic lens cell. The resulting brightness gained is due to the acceleration of electrons into the lens. Okay, and the system and the fact that an output image is smaller than the primary fluorescent image. Yes, but lens is utilized so that it can expand the image, because image generated on the lens is very small than the actual image. Okay, in this way X-rays are utilized in the modern science for visualization of different deficiencies in our body. Okay, this is for the present lecture. In the next lecture we may be focusing on X-ray computed tomography and so on other topics. Thank you.